right at the top of the hour. We're proud to be here again. My name is Patricia Lukoman. Sign language will shortly be joined by Mugalu Mohammed.
And I'm Enad Rukidi Kijanangoma.
First, the headlines. President Yoweri Museveni flags off Uganda's team to the East African Secondary School Games.
In Kasese district, farmers there are hit by vanilla theft.
On the international scene, drugs show 90% survival rate in breakthrough trial.
And in sports, Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton to visit Uganda for the very first time. Hello there and welcome once again. Of course, Mugalu Mohammed will be joining us shortly, and Patricia Lukoma will be joining us later on this program to give us everything that's happening in the world of business, international news and sports. But let's get started. And President Yoweri Museveni has flagged off the Ugandan team heading for the East Africa Secondary School Games. Now, the games on the 18th of this month will have the best secondary schools in Uganda compete in 7 sports disciplines. Kira College will represent in rugby, St. Mary's Chitende in both football, men and basketball for the ladies, Mbogo mixed for volleyball boys, while Gombe will represent Uganda in handball. Mr. Museveni called for resilience and discipline since the young boys and girls hold the future of sports in the country.
It is a real pleasure and pride to have so many of you go out so often to represent Uganda. And many of you bring back awards and gifts, and we are really proud, and we know that we are changing from good to better, and we are waiting for best. And I know we'll get it there.
I wish you good luck, and I will be watching what you have done. But in terms of preparation, what I said, stop smoking, stop drinking alcohol, stop running after girls or boys. I wish you good luck.
Tugana komona wanguzi munsi yaffe mundi guno twongeddemu kyamaanyi era nsuubira tugenda kudda ne overall trophy, even the trophy for boys.
I think is going to make us win is the hard work we have had through our training, and the preparations we have made are really enough for us to make us succeed from there.
President Yoweri Museveni giving parental advice there to those young boys and girls as they prepare to represent Uganda at those games. Meanwhile, President Yoweri Museveni has received a special message from his Angolan counterpart, President João Manuel Goncalves Lorenzo. The Angolan Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Manuel Domingos Augusto, delivered the message to the President yesterday at State House Entebbe. In a meeting that followed, President Museveni and the visiting Angolan minister exchanged views of historical nature in political, socio-economic and revolutionary experiences that the two sister countries, Uganda and Angola, went through to achieve their independence. Foreign Affairs Minister Mr. Sam Kutesa attended the meeting. Meanwhile, President Yoweri Museveni has received and held a meeting with the executive officials of Bayport Financial Services Limited at State House Entebbe. Now, he discussed the contributions the company has rendered to Uganda in the microfinance services sector in the past 15 years. Launched in 2004, the company has proved a leading non-deposit credit provider in Uganda and staffed with 250 permanent employees around 190 mobile sales agents, and it serves more than 31,600 customers in 49 branches. The company offers short, medium and long-term loans, education protection policy and credit life cover. Now, the bulk of the loans, according to information, are dedicated to school fees, farming and small businesses, among others. The President assured the Bayport Uganda Chief Executive Officer Alan Ochaka, the Group Chief Operations Officer Brian Alu, as well as Nothando Ndebele, who is the group's capital markets executive, among others, that Uganda is a free economy, but cautioned the officials to be greatly mindful about importation of illegitimate products into the country. To other news now, the Prime Minister, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, has said that the decentralization policy is a well-thought-out model by the NRM government as the most appropriate model for improving service delivery in Uganda. He said the government has undertaken a number of initiatives to ensure that the decentralization policy is put in place within the right political environment. The Premier was speaking at the National Conference on Decentralization in Kampala. We have more in this report.
The Prime Minister, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, has said decentralization has realized significant achievements in the legal, political, administrative, fiscal, local administration of justice, good governance, service delivery, local economic development, and institutional aspects of the policy. He also noted that the policy has made it possible to have democratically elected councils at all levels in the country.
Today, there are local councils, yes, right from the village to the district level, and all of these are elected through universal adult suffrage. This is democracy in practice. Not just theorizing, but really power the people deciding on their leadership. These councils are inclusive and have promoted popular participation. The marginalized and vulnerable categories of our society, including women, youth, people with disabilities, and elderly, who constitute a big proportion of the population, are also represented, and they participate in the decision-making process in areas where they live.
The Premier highlighted some of the challenges still impeding the local government sector and thus called upon the citizens to not only appreciate the role of local governments as being at the front line of service delivery, but also support the sector in addressing the challenges.
Challenge number one is the inadequate capacity to deliver decentralized services and functions effectively and efficiently. Number two, mindsets and attitude challenges in both the technical and political wings of local governments. And challenge number three is poor information and record management. Challenge number four, poor intra and intergovernmental coordination.
During the conference, 2 reports on decentralization in Uganda were presented, and the Prime Minister noted that government will undertake the recommendations made from the findings of the report in order to incorporate them in any amendments of the policy. The Minister of State for Local Government, Jennifer Namuyangu, highlighted the objectives of the Ministry of Local Government, and these include to improve the decentralization system to promote democratic government, transparency and accountability in local governments, to improve planned urban development, to increase local investments and expand local revenue base, among others. Namuyangu, however, noted lack of service delivery standards as the biggest challenge in the sector.
The lack of coherence often led to lack of synergy and duplication of interventions, hence undermining efficiency utilization of resources within and across the sectors. The local government system in Uganda, Right Honourable Prime Minister, is based on decentralization of functions, power, and services.
The mission director of USAID, Patricia Rada, said the conference offers a platform for dialogue about the decentralization policy and how it can be effective in terms of delivering services to Ugandans. The conference, which was organized under the theme Decentralization, Trends, Gains, Challenges, and the Future of Local Governments in Uganda, with the aim to take stock of how local governments have benefited from the decentralization policy as a vehicle for improved service delivery, was attended by the Minister of State for Primary Education, Rosemary Seninde, political leaders, government officials, development partners, donors, and members from the academia, civil society, and the media, among others. Doreen Nasasra reporting for UBC News.
Thanks, Doreen, for that report there. Meanwhile, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has met with the 10-member board for the Uganda National Commission for the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. The board, led by the chairperson, Professor Eriabu Lugujo, Vice Chancellor of Deji University, called on the First Lady at State House Nakasero. Mrs. Museveni, who is the current chairperson of the Uganda National Commission for UNESCO, UNATCOM, and the board members talked about the various projects undertaken by UNESCO in Uganda. The board updated the First Lady about projects undertaken in the education sector. Now, these include supporting the development of the comprehensive national teacher policy and the teacher management information system, which is being used to carry out online re-registration of all teachers in the country. UNESCO is taking the lead in the Education 2030 agenda by championing Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which promotes inclusive and quality education for sustainable development from early childhood to higher and tertiary education. Now, the former Executive Secretary of the departed Asians Custodian Board, Bernard Tumwesigire, has handed over the Custodian Board seal. Although Tumwesigire stormed Kosase in an angry mood to hand over the seal, the Custodian Board Chairperson, Matia Kaseja, rejected it. Susanna Wonga reports.
Honorable Matia Kaseja to claim that I was paid is daydreaming. It is going to cause a revolution in Uganda if I'm not paid.
There was drama in the subcommittee on commissions, state authority and state enterprises as former Custodian Board Secretary Bernard Tumwesigire stormed the committee to hand over the seal that had been demanded of him. First was an organized probe as the committee queried the Custodian Board executive over disappearance of the seal of the departed Asian properties.
We went ahead and tried to know who is Bernard. That's why I'm saying it is going to be both to the management of Custodian Board and to Bernard as a person.
I'm wondering whether it is not procedurally right, Mr. Chairman, that you pronounce yourself on the question of the seal as per your order. In this case, this would mean giving an order to the board to take up this matter with police and also maybe to instruct our security people, the SID, to produce Mr. Bernard and the seal, so that the casual way in which they are running government can remain their fair.
Even if you are demanding government, first bring back the properties and then you demand.
Then later came the embattled former executive secretary of the Custodian Board, Bernard Tumwesigire, with the seal that the committee had ordered him to surrender. Even though Tumwesigire handed over the seal, the Custodian Board chairperson, who is also the Minister of Finance, Matia Kaseja, rejected the seal, saying it's not the one.
Is this the seal we're talking of?
The seal I used to use was not like this. It was a roundish, yes, a metallic. The one you didn't like that. Not this one.
So, Mr. Bernard,
because this one can be obtained by anybody.
But Tumwesigire insisted that that is the seal that he received from his predecessor.
My question to you is, when you are in the office as executive secretary,
is that what you,
in view of the law, is that what you are using to seal people's documents, which were being used in the ministry?
This is what I was given.
I'm asking a different question. I'm asking you, we are using this.
I have never
first
seen-
listen.
Yes.
We are using this to seal certificate of purchase and possession certificate. We are using this.
I must say, I have never had any other seal apart from this stuff.
Okay, now.
The committee therefore ordered the CID attached to Parliament to investigate whether the seal handed by Tumwesigire is genuine.
To liaise with the chairperson of the board to investigate and get to know whether this is the real seal which was given to Mr. Bernard or not, and you report on 20th when we are interfacing.
Tumwesigire, who has been holding the seal as a condition to compel the board to pay his salary arrears, was forced to surrender it before payment and demanded that his salary arrears amounting to 1.3 billion shillings be paid immediately.
The figure I'm demanding today, of which Honorable Matia Kasaja is not aware of, is daydreaming. That is the best word I can use. Is daydreaming. Is the figure is here. It is 1,701,721,072.74.
Kasaija, however, refutes claims that the board owes Tumwesigire.
And as far as I'm concerned, I owe him no money unless he proved otherwise.
You paid him?
I paid him, yes. Because
Do you have evidence as per that?
Oh, sure.
Can you submit it before this committee?
For sure.
Please.
Bernard Tumwesigire has served as the executive secretary of the custodian board for the past 11 years, till when he was besieged. The committee resumes the probe on the 20th of August. Susan Naonga and Henry Krut for UBC News.
Matters of the seal, they are causing chaos. Now let's shift our attention to matters pertaining to land issues in the country, where the Acting Director General Uganda Investment Authority, Lawrence Viensi, has been blamed for dispossessing the community living on over 400 acres of land in Kautakura Parish, Bokora County in Karamoja region. Now he was faulted for a pending signature on the sale agreement without doing due diligence. Sudat Kaya reports.
Establishment of a unit to carry out due diligence before carrying out any land transaction by Uganda Investment Authority has been one of the recommendations made by the Land Inquiry. This follows an illegal purchase of land by Uganda Investment Authority with a signature of the director.
If something looks fishy, let's say it looks fishy. Let's not pretend. These are not good situations.
The Acting Director General Uganda Investment Authority, Lawrence Viensi, failed to safeguard government money on acquisition of the 400 acres in Kautakura, Karamoja region.
Are you willing to lift that veil to say, let us look beyond this paperwork? There could be an illegality here. And this illegality, and my impression of those people is they really don't mind if you actually take the land, but they want you to take it from them, not from an individual who is not from their place. And you don't want to engage with them.
But the director did not know the location of the contested land.
My Lord, I want to accept that I don't know the names of the sub-county.
The commission questioned the manner at which Uganda Investment Authority is handling land issues.
Kaweri, a disaster. You created a South Africa in Uganda. Kaweri coffee, you take over people's land and now they live in slums. Families are broken apart. Children have got pregnant before their time. They've become mothers when they had promising lives. Mbale, let me tell you, you could be boasting that you've done very well, but you've actually caused another land problem. Before that particular business park was set up, so many promises had been made to so many people.
According to the commission, there were letters written to the high authorities in Karamoja indicating that those resisting the formation of an industrial park in Karamoja were just politicking.
You took a dismissive approach to the complaints of the people of Kautakura. And then if you also took time to study your case within the broader context, maybe you would not make such.
In our judgment, was quite negative.
So the authority could lose the land because what they possess is a title acquired fraudulently. At the same time, the land bought by the authority is in Loputput but not Kautakor.
What I know, the pretentiousness that is happening in government right now is to look the other side and say we're getting out of the commission and everything they're doing there is rubbish. We're just going to just tick boxes. He goes out there, gets an area land committee of another place, gets LCs of another place, names the title another place, and is given a title. Then he finds unsuspecting government officials. They say, wow, title is conclusive proof of ownership. The man is waving a title. There's a good lawyer in UIA. She says, but he has title.
Uganda Investment Authority had an option of going on ground to ascertain the true owners of the land, and this practice would have saved government a loss. According to the Commission, individuals were just converting communal customary land into freehold without procedure. However, the legal requirements for the attainment of the land do not favor the authority.
And then the law tells you the title is void. You want me to read it for you?
Sudat Kaye, UBC News in Kampala.
Thanks to that for that report there. Meanwhile, the Anti-Corruption Court based in Kololo, Kampala, has charged Detective Sergeant Tom Alianga with alleged abuse of office and extortion. According to the charge sheet read in court, it is alleged that Detective Sergeant Tom Alianga, attached to Lugazi Police Station between the 22nd and the 23rd of May 2019 at Lugazi Police Station and in Naguru, Kampala, received a bribe of 100,000 Ugandan shillings from Innocent Mwebaze as an inducement for him not to register a case of obtaining money by false pretense, as allegedly reported by one Nakaluyono Violet of Lugazi Police Station. The detective sergeant also had an alternative charge of extortion but pleaded not guilty for both cases. Innocent Mwebaze alerted the anti-corruption unit in State House headed by Lieutenant Colonel Edith Nakalema, and Detective Sergeant Tom Alianga was informed to collect his money from Naguru, where the anti-corruption officials netted him. The Anti-Corruption Court granted Tom Alianga a cash bail of 500,000 Ugandan shillings and bonded the two charities with 20 million shillings not cash. The accused will again appear in court on the 29th of August 2019. Let's move out of Kampala now and move further to West Nile, where Moyo and Adjumani district leaders want government to speed the processes of tarmacking the Atiak-Moyo road before the 2021 general campaigns. Now, this was during the Manifesto Implementation Monitoring Week in northern Uganda. Philip Aguta is in northern Uganda and filed this report.
Tarmacking of Atiak Laropi Road, they are under procurement. So far, on Wednesday this week, we are meeting with the UNRWA to begin now clearing some of the people who need compensation within Adjumani Town Council. They have already finished with those from Zaipi Pakele.
The leaders demand water for production to support small-scale irrigation schemes, piped water in town council's extension of electricity to all sub-counties, and an industrial park.
We also want to see the water connection project, water connection from the Nile. And I am happy design stages, visibility studies are all going on.
The desire for a bridge on the River Nile, that has not been in the manifesto, but I want to bring it because it is one of the aspirations of the people.
The district officials, however, say they are on the right track in the manifesto implementation with over 80% performance.
This one covers all the some delivery areas at 80%. And in terms of 80%, and when you compute it in terms of poverty reduction, we came from 58% to now 42%. And 58% was in 2014. And now you can see where the district has reached in the recent assessment to 42%. This is because of the intervention of these livelihood groups and which the community is focusing on.
For a construction of one block district drug and vaccine, that is what I said, which is ongoing. We have a construction of one block of 3 classrooms and 3 blocks of 5 stands drainable latrines in Ona Primary School. I went last week. It is actually completed now, and that is something that we are happy about. We have construction of 2 block semi-detached staff houses for 4 teachers with a kitchen and 2 stands drainable latrine with a 5,000 litre capacity stainless tank for a tier primary school. It is now at procurement stage.
In an ongoing manifesto implementation monitoring week in the north, the director of the unit from Office of the President says Moyo and Adjumani have delivered above the average.
And we are here to appreciate how the implementation is being done on the ground. This is to pick the real stories from the ground and be able to inform Ugandans, so that Ugandans or citizens can be able to appreciate how far the different commitments have been implemented in the different areas of the country.
For UBC TV, I am Philip Aguta.
Thanks, Philip, for that report. Now let's move to northern Uganda, where over 600 residents of Bardege division in Gulu municipality demonstrated over the impassable roads in the municipality. Bardege division LC3 chairman Patrick Lumumba led the demonstrations, claiming that many roads in Bardege division have never been tarmacked. We have more in this report.
The leaves and the tree branches wielding demonstrators cut off the roads as they marched to the Gulu Municipal Council offices. They chanted Wamito Lam, translated as "We want tarmacked roads." Badeja Division LC3 Chairman Patrick Lumumba claimed that the demonstration is to show dissatisfaction over failure by the municipality to upgrade their roads.
To go and to pick roads. They are picking roads which are very small, first of all in length and short in distance, so that they squeeze money. All they are after is kickback from the constructors. And that is why they keep on avoiding to overlook our road, which links to St. Jude and is a major road that will offset traffic.
With the backing from his followers, Patrick Lumumba says only 2 roads in the division have been upgraded out of 54 roads upgraded in the municipality. The demonstrators camped in front of the municipal offices, calling upon their leaders to act.
We are demanding for a tarmac road in Kanyagoga village. We have been demanding since 2001.
Many people feared their businesses would close if roads remain in a poor state.
The road leading to this place is greatly affected, is not maintained well. Our effort to link up with the management of the council has not been fruitful for almost now 3 years, and the road has really become impossible. This road is an alternative road to so many places, especially Gulu Cathedral Church, which is the biggest Catholic church in Gulu, and then also Lacho Hospital.
Demonstrators refused to leave the municipal compound until the new town clerk, Chuanuka Edward Gwav, summoned the municipal engineer, Terence Odong.
Bardege residents there, of course, raising chaos as far as the Atiak Moyo Road is concerned. Now, police in Chiruhura have exhumed the body of an 8-year-old child who was kidnapped and later killed after his kidnappers failed to get $100,000 ransom from the parents. Now, Now, his body was found buried in a cave under an anthill within his grandfather's farm situated in Ruhondwa village, Nyakasandara sub-county in Chirhura district.
An 8-year-old Kangume Ronald was kidnapped on 31st July as he walked to school. It is alleged that Kangume was kidnapped by Alex Asimwe, a casual laborer at their farm, with the help of Enos Talemwa, who were tracked and arrested by police. They were demanding $10,000 as ransom from Kangume's parents.
Very open like this, shouldn't say we are still carrying on investigation.
Upon interrogation, the suspects said they were promised 20 million shillings by Kisimbe Pascal if they produced the skull of the deceased. Pascal Kisimbe is in police custody as investigations continue. The process of exhuming the body was supervised by Director of Uganda Police Health Services, Dr. Moses Byaruhanga, who called for a mutual relationship between police detectives and the community.
All these people have been able to convince us, they have told us that they are not going to revenge, they are calm, they are willing to support police to do their work, and of course we thanked them and we further requested them that they should really continue with the cooperation, the coordination that they are having with the police. These things happen, of course they are not good such young people in society to commit such crimes.
This follows concerns raised by leaders in the area questioning the sentence to be given to the suspects.
To control this program all over the nation, these people should be killed.
Very, very sad indeed, and of course may the soul of that young person there rest in eternal peace. Now from Chirhura, let's go to Iganga, where long-distance travelers have been advised to report reckless drivers to avoid road accidents. Now this call follows the Monday evening accident in Iganga involving a YY coach that left 2 people dead and 42 injured. Iganga District Police Commander David Willis Daula says only 6 of the injured are still admitted at Nakavule Government Hospital. Residents want drivers to desist from reckless driving.
kibenga kikolebwa okugendeza bunobenje obwokungule abantu balekere okuvugisa kamamya nekipire okubanga akabenje kano kakoze kikagwiro esinga wabasa yakujja mpola mpola ne bana abatulera nga kulekera okwenda okubisa okuba ni wasiwasi mu ngulo cyane bekirekeza akuki akabenje kanonga kana bakwide
ekivere kwa akabenje akemodoka yegweme mwakakulu akakono era yawoninga kulaba ya kemodoka vere mochi akakono mweseti ngaya bana likubisa
even nesera buserera just okuserera negwira omuntu naye nafiira ku sport
ebyanganya yakutukwaka kuno akomaiso kamulemerera yakyuka yalinga ekampala yevwa wekyuse neringa yevwa yagwa ekigo driver yakoba musabaze ativa mumaiso era kwenyuma emaaso enemereire.
Very hard now. It's very hard. Let's wait. We shall give you a report.
Very, very sad indeed. But of course, we should remember that your security on the road begins and ends with you, the passenger. So do not just travel in the car when you see that a driver is actually overspeeding. Talk to them, and if possible, just get out of that vehicle. We are now going to take a very short break, but we'll be coming back with what's happening in the world of business with Patricia Lukoma. Stay tuned.
Every dream has a challenging journey,
Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Have you completed Senior 4 or Senior 6 and you want to do a 2-year certificate or a diploma course? Makerere Institute for Social Development, an affiliate to Makerere Business School, offers programs in accounting and finance, business administration, procurement and supplies management, social work and social administration, information technology, counseling and guidance, human resource, project planning and management, journalism, secretarial studies, and many others. We are located on Sa Apollo Kegwa Road, next to Oilcom Petrol Station, with a UBTEP Center number.
Nabubi yazimba kumutya muwanvu enkuba yatonya nabubi yakwa
Ekyama kya Busoga kikino nga ni Kagulu Rock nkola olusozi olw'Ekagulu mu igombolola ly'Ekagulu mu disitulikiti ey'Ebuyende. Ida tuninira olusozi olw'Ekagulu ni Pulezidenti wa Uganda Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ng'akyaziibwa Isaife ky'abazinga wa Busoga William Wilberforce Kadumbula Gabula Nalyopo Owookuna ne Sipiika wa Paalamenti Maama Rebecca Itwala Kadaga era ng'empiya bukalina bukalina obuteereyi bwawo obw'okuwangulibwa abonabonaabona nga banina olusozi luno baalutuuka ku ntwiko oyina kuba ng'osobola okubona Busoga okuva yava okutuuka yakanga olengera ebibira olengera ensozi edindi agayanda n'omwiga Kiiro ogusinga obuwanvu mu nsi yonayona. Kagulu nkola olusozi lwa byafaayo ng'omusoga eyasooka yava ebunolo wano niwe yatuukira oyita abona empuku mwe yasulanga niwe yalimiranga enimiro de nga bino byonna bya bwereere. Abantu okuva ebule n'ebweya bali kwekonda okuyida okubaawo okunina olusozi luno weenaba omu kwabo.
Bino byonna byakubaawo olwamukaaga ngenda ku omwezi 17 omwezi ogw'omunaana omwaka 2019.
Empaka edda okunina olusozi Kagulu dikutuusibwaku Minisitule y'ebyobulambuzi n'ebyeyira mu bwakyabazinga bwa Busoga kyateebwamu empiya
President w'Iwanga, Uganda Tourism Board, Uganda Wildlife Authority, Sanctuary Hotels Kamuli, UBC TV, Madvan Group of Companies, Big Fair, awalala
Hill Water, purity, nothing less.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pain Arena. Introducing on the right corner, Mr. Action, the reigning heavyweight champion in the ring against
the Headache, the #1 contender. And the bell rings.
Headache charges forward with a steady right and a left hook. Action dodges. He misses out with an inch. Wait a minute. Mr. Action launches back with a kick. The final blow. He is out.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Welcome back. I'm Patricia Lukomad. In sign language, we're still joined by Mugalu Mohammed. It's time for business. In the agricultural sector, vanilla farmers in Kasese district have started slipping in their farms due to the rampant theft of the crop. Charles Motanaba, a farmer, says theft is in the two sub-counties of Mohotia and Mahango in Kasese district.
Vanilla thieves have threatened farmers in Kasese district as farmers appeal to government for security. Ronald Ndobia, 28 years, a resident of Muhango sub-county, says thieves normally disturb them ahead of the harvesting season.
Tukanowa ikonze mezemuka nareso avanile tukendro wai ebiru 15 okweru 12 so central tight okwebibi ereminya tuti tukabarwa miseya avanile yiko kubutukobo iyene so twangabetu nayo okwachi uchin.
The State Minister for Agriculture, Christopher Chibazanga, notes that the government is registering farmers dealing in vanilla for easier monitoring and supervision, but urged local governments to come up with protection ordinances.
The farmers to be on the net so that there is a traceability. If we get vanilla in Kampala, we should be able to trace where.
Last year alone, Kasese district lost 34 lives to vanilla theft.
Now, the Directorate of Industrial Training under the Ministry of Education and Sports has started assessing and certifying the competence of skilled workers in companies, institutions and individuals. The Acting Director, Directorate of Industrial Training, Patrick Yakatonda, appeals to youth who have had no opportunity of accessing formal education to embrace skills assessment.
Close to 500 boys from Chibuli and neighboring suburbs of Kampala who have trained for 6 months in electrical installation, motor vehicle mechanics, plumbing, carpentry, shoemaking and welding are being assessed by the Directorate of Industrial Training. It is a presidential initiative of skilling the boy child to provide skills for every Ugandan. The Acting Director, Directorate of Industrial Training at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Patrick Biakatonda, says all those assessed and certified will receive modular certificates to enable them compete for international job markets. This initiative boosts the skills industry and creates employment at household level.
Their certificate, when they go to Dubai, they go to Southern Sudan, they get jobs. And actually, this is the best human resource. Instead of people going for KO, for whatever, when they are not skilled, they should go when they are skilled, because it increases their bargaining power.
From Administrator, the Presidential Initiative of Skilling the Boy Child, Nasanga Sada, says a similar program for girls is ongoing at Wandegeya.
We registered a big number of them, but many have dropped out. They had their behaviors from ghetto. We tried to cope up with them but failed because they were drug addicts.
The beneficiaries of Wabigalo Center hailed government for the service.
I have spent here. I have achieved a lot. So when I leave mechanics. So when I see a vehicle, I can work on it properly.
I'm Nafka Farida and Ganga Henry.
Well, it's time for us to look at what's happening on the financial markets. As we start off with the Forex, it looks like today the Forex market opened at a fair price of 3,692.75, 3,702.75 buying and selling. But as the day ended, we saw a trend of 3,690.69, 3,700.96 buying and selling, and that is just against the dollar. And quickly on to the Uganda Securities Exchange price performance. As we can see on the Uganda Securities Exchange, there weren't much of price movements there, but we see a bit of activity on one particular counter that dominated the Uganda Securities Exchange, trading 94,000 shares at only 29 shillings. Of course, it took the lead by 2.73 million exchanging hands. And the general performance, that is the general turnover of the Uganda Securities Exchange, stood at 5.28 million Ugandan shillings, and with 167,000 shares there were traded. As we cross borders, Ebola may soon be a preventable and treatable disease after a trial of 2 drugs showed significantly improved survival rates, scientists have said. Now, 4 drugs were trialed on patients in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where there is a major outbreak of the virus. More than 90% of the infected people can now survive if treated early with the most effective drugs, the research showed. Now the drugs will be used to treat all patients with this disease in DR Congo, according to the health officials. The U.S. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID, which co-sponsored the trial, said that the results are very good news for the fight against Ebola. Now, the drugs named Regan EB3 and MAB 114 work by attacking the Ebola virus with antibodies, neutralizing its impact on human cells. They are the first drugs that, in a scientifically sound study, have clearly shown a significant diminution in the mortality for Ebola patients. This was said by Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of NIAID. Regan EB3 and MAB 114 were developed using antibodies that were harvested from survivors of Ebola, which has killed almost 1,800 people in DR Congo in the past year. Now, 2 other treatments called ZMAP and Remdesivir have been dropped for trials as they were found to be less effective.
The long line hassle. With 1xBet, the power of placing the perfect bet is at your fingertips. Bet anytime from anywhere. Best of all, payment is instant. Place your bet on whatever you choose. Virtual games, bet games, sports, and even live betting. Winning has never been this simple. Bet with 1xBet. Advanced gaming is regulated by the Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board. Betting is addictive and can be psychologically harmful, and it's only eligible to persons above 18 years of age. Brought to you by Bet with 1xBet.
With a sports roundup, Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton is set to visit Uganda for the first time to boost the country's sporting fan base. Hamilton will be sponsored by Pirelli together with the City Tires. Meanwhile, Proline FC faces off with URA in the FUFA Super 8 classification game. Ngabo Eman reports.
After being eliminated from the FUFA Super 8, URAFC, Proline FC will battle in the FUFA Super 8 in a classification match this Wednesday. URA lost to Mbarara City 2-0 at Kacheka Stadium, while Proline lost to Viper Sports Club. URA's head coach Sam Simbwa admitted assembling his team before the commencement of the 2019-2020 Uganda Premier League season.
I've just beaten the other team 3-0. They are from Eastern Central. And for us, we have been disorganized by Masaza Bika, the national team, and many injuries. So tomorrow, don't expect a lot, but we are going to try our level best to see that we can get the points.
Master security. We're going to find another team. We're going to set another team that you didn't see on Saturday, because we have so much to get out of this tournament. As I've told you, it's a test for us, and we are preparing for the continent and at the same time for the league. So you're going to see another different team. You're going to rest most of the team that played on Saturday, the players that played on Saturday. That's what we have for this game, for this tournament, and for tomorrow's game.
URA has so far signed 12 players, including David Bagole, Hassan Kalega, Ivan Patrick Mbowa, Brian Majwega, among others, many of whom are yet to acquire playing licenses. Proline FC, on the other hand, are using this particular game to prepare for their CAF return leg game against Master Security. Meanwhile, international female kickboxer and intercontinental champion Patricia Apolot is slated to fight in a title defense for her world title. The fight, codenamed the Revelation Night of 1,000 Punches, will be held on the 31st of August at Smiles Corner, Chireka.
That is the best I can tell you. I can assure you, even if you go to internet right now and you type her name, you'll see her there. She's turned pro 3 years ago in kickboxing. So, if you look at a rank of 16 professional boxing, not only fought in Kenya, fought up to France. I think she was last, her fight was, I think, where? Then again, she came back. So, she's not going to be an easy opponent. And besides, this is a rematch. That's what I can tell you. This is a rematch between me and Awino. The first fight I fought with her, it was in Tororo. Yes, it's a surprise, but it's a rematch.
In a super lightweight category, Patricia will be fighting Kenya's Joyce Awino in K1 style. And in Formula 1 legend Lewis Hamilton will visit Uganda this year to boost the game's fan base in the country. His visit, on the other hand, will equally boost the tourism sector of Uganda. So far, 2 Ugandans have been confirmed to watch live the Formula 1 Liance Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi later this year. They will be fully sponsored by City Tires Uganda. Ngabo Amon, reporting for UBS TV.
Well, all the best to you, Patricia. Now over to Karamoja Games. Participants at the August 31st Karamoja Games at St. Daniel Komboni Primary School in Kotido District have a cause to smile. All they do have a reason to smile following the inclusion of a medical camp. The Games chairperson, Richard Accord, says this will help society access free services to curb the key ailments in the region of 9 districts, all of which will participate in woodball, netball, volleyball and football, as we hear in this report.
This game is organized when all the students who are at school come together, plus the ones who are dropouts. There are 3 key areas that Karamoja Games is looking at. One is unity. Karamoja has the track record of cattle wrestling. So through unity, we want to end that cattle wrestling when the youth come together. Secondly, we're looking at education. The fact that the government has put in place very many vocational institutes. We want to also encourage the school dropouts to get back to school. And thirdly is talent search in Karamoja. Last year when we launched the Karamoja Games, we managed to pull 2 people from Karamoja, one from Abim and one from Moroto, who came and competed in the MTN Marathon. I want to thank the District Health Officer of Kotido for the partnership that he has accepted to ensure that during the Games, there'll be free medical checkup. So what does this come with the people of Karamoja? When they come, the community of Kotido will benefit in terms of free medical checkup. Secondly, the business community. Can imagine the 10,000 people who are going to be in Kotido on one day. People will have to eat, people have to drink, people have to sleep.
And then netball, with the Netball World Cup and many other engagements out of the way, attention for Uganda Netball Federation has now turned to the National League, whose fixtures are out. The league starts on the 1st of September at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, with 5 games lined up on the day. Prisons will play Makindi Division, and then Prisons dates Uganda People's Defence Forces, while reigning champions National Insurance Corporation have 2 games, first against Kampala Capital City Authority and later Uganda Christian University. The league is expected to run for about 2 months in order to create time for the national team that will be involved in numerous engagements. Notable players to look out for include Stella Oyela, who now plays for National Insurance Corporation, and then KCCA's Nora Lunkuse and Prisons Lillian Ajio. Well, it's time for us to look at what's happening with the weather forecast. Let's have Semper Alex Kim give us that.
In wet weather activities across the country comparing yesterday and today. This has been because the rain belt that was positioned over our region has slightly been shifted to the north of the country. That is why the north has remained quite active. Otherwise, tomorrow morning we shall see most parts of the country have sunny intervals, whereas some parts of Gulu are expected to have some light showers. But in the afternoon, most of the north will experience some light showers, and much of the country we shall see sunny intervals, though areas along the Lake Victoria Basin are expected also to have some chances of rainfall. Temperatures are expected to rise to 28 degrees Celsius in Karamoja region, 27 in the north, whereas the nation's capital Kampala at 27 degrees also, but Kabale Highlands will be at 25 degrees Celsius as a maximum. Elsewhere across the globe, we are forecasting for New Delhi, Amsterdam, as well as Mombasa, chances of some light showers. Dubai is expected to be bright and sunny and really hot at 44 degrees Celsius as a maximum. That is all we had time for. I remain Semper Alex Kim. Stay tuned to UBC TV.
Thank you very much there, Alex. That does bring us to the very end of news tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Kija, before we sign out, I guess we do have that recap on the headlines.
Oh, yes.
President Yoweri Museveni flags off Uganda's team to the East African secondary schools.
In Kasese farmers hit by vanilla theft.
And on the international scene, drugs show 90% survival rate in breakthrough trials.
And on the sports scene, Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton to visit Uganda for the very first time. Cannot wait for this guy, Lewis Hamilton, to come to Uganda. I know so many people will be waiting to see him, especially I've got my pastor, Pastor Mose. He'll be there definitely because he's a fan of Formula One.
I'm also a little bit relieved due to the fact that our dear neighbors, DR Congo, that have been battling with the Ebola case, there's a bit of a green light there.
Great, that's some breakthrough there.
True.
And that's it from us. Thank you so much for having kept us company. Once again, Mogalu Muhammad has been on sign language.
I am Patricia Lukoma.
And I'm Edward Rukidi Kija Nanguma.
For now, it's a good night.
Good night to you.
Was brought to you by UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.